I'd like to welcome everyone to this evening's workshop on the deep dive in club visioning. So just a few technical issues before we get started. I think everybody's getting pretty used to the Zoom screens and the Zoom controls, but they've surprised us with a few breakout changes and menu changes. So we ask everyone to remain muted during the entire session. You'll find your mute options on the microphone icon, which if muted will have a red line across it. And we ask that if you have a camera, please turn on your camera video so we can further engage with our audience. There are some interactive moments in here, and that camera really helps it be more engaging for both the presenters and the attendees. While we have interactive sessions, you'll be using a couple of different ways to communicate. One will be the chat function. So again, you'll see the chat menu on your Zoom controls. If you don't see that, look for the word more with 3 dots and you will find the chat function there. Just type in the chat and then press enter and we'll be able to read your comments. We'll also use the raise hand function, and that's the little trick that the latest Zoom update changed. They have moved the raised hand option under the reactions menu. So when you click on your reactions on your control bar, you'll now see the actual words raised hand. So not the thumbs up or the wavy hand, you'll actually click on the word raised hand. And if you want to practice that, it's a good time to do that. So just everyone go ahead to the reactions. It looks like some of you have got it perfectly. So the most important thing is when we ask for questions, we'll ask you to raise hand, which is the one that's straight up and down, not the one off to the side, because the straight up and down one stays on the screen. We will call on you. We'll ask you to unmute to ask your question. And then if you could go back to the same place on your reaction screen and lower your hand. That way we'll know that you're asked your question and you don't have another one. So now let's all go back and lower the hand that you just raised, please. So again, the biggest thing is when we call on you, you'll unmute. So if you can go back to your reactions menu, for those of you who still have your hand raised, and go ahead and lower your hand. You have a couple of different options for viewing. You can view in speaker view, which if you see me mainly on the screen, that's what you're in now. Or you can also go to gallery view, a little more of that Brady Bunch look and feel. Gallery view may be more interactive during the questions. You may choose the speaker view if you want when we're doing the presentations. At the very slim likelihood of this meeting being interrupted by someone we don't want in here, we will actually shut the meeting down, give us 5 minutes, and then log back in using the link that you just used to get in. So are there any technical questions? All right, so Joan and Barry, if you can go and try to find your lower hand option, that'd be great. And with that, Glenn, off to you.
Thank you, Jill. Welcome to tonight's workshop, which will be hosted by the following IVFC committee members: Jill Petrozinski, Tom Ripida, Laura Carey, and myself, Glenn Vanderford. We recognize the challenges this Rotary year has presented to our districts. We also acknowledge that we have been promising updated club visioning materials to our subscribed districts for some time. For that reason, our subscribed districts from 2019-2020 were grandfathered without an additional renewal fee into the 2020-2021 year as the first to experience the new materials and to evaluate your training needs. What have we accomplished in the last 4 months? We have updated the IVFC website and allowed access to your district visioning chairs to download and share the new materials with his or her team. On November 5th, we rolled out the new materials that aligned with the current RI action plan. And to introduce you to the current writing exercise, the voting by action plan topics, and the important addition of the vision to success components. On November 19th, we did a deeper dive into how to get results from the new materials and conducted visioning to success breakouts in order to help clubs improve the skills in achieving their vision by creating a specific action plan for each of their identified goals within the structure of a coordinated master plan over 3 years. On December 3rd, we focused on the virtual delivery steps and the team roles for this new delivery alternative platform. And tonight, we'll do a deeper dive into building your teams and promoting to the clubs within your district. All these sessions are available to the subscribed district chairs, and the videos are on our YouTube channel, accessible through the IVFC website to all team members without having to log in. Now, Jill, will you please expand on our rollout?
Thank you, Glenn. In response to the recent SurveyMonkey that you filled out, you taught us that we're all at a little different place right now in club visioning, and your teams will need a variety of training tools to help you get ready to deliver. You shared that the virtual delivery is appealing, especially in the current environment, yet you had some concerns over the cost and technical requirements to be successful. Frankly, you will need to determine if that is a viable offering in your district moving forward. For some teams, your original facilitators may have waned or been replaced, and some may not have had gone through the full training experience, rather they learned by observing and then doing. So we know we need to provide you the resources to help re-energize this process into your district culture if the club visioning hasn't been a regular part of your day-to-day district deliverables. Now, we realize that we've been dripping this material on you, yet we feel it's very important to ensure that you all have what you need prior to us moving beyond our subscribed districts. Our goal is to have a truly interactive client relationship management system integrated into our IVFC website, where you'll actually renew your subscription in July of 2021. Now, for any of you who have integrated a CRM system in your business, our team members have been very busy behind the scenes integrating our manual systems into a more accurate and progressive system. We've appreciated your engagement to do a self-assessment of your current district team and to evaluate what materials that you'll need from us to successfully deliver club visioning utilizing the new materials. For some of you, that's just going to be a quick review, download the documents and templates by your district chair from our IVFC website, and you'll be off to the races, including virtual delivery. But for others, you may need to start from scratch, and you may need to develop a whole new team, and we probably have everything in between. So our goal is for our subscribed districts is to use the next 6 months of this Rotary year to build your teams to the level that you need for success. We couldn't have come this far without you, and we hope that the remainder of tonight's workshop supports you with the tools to sell the value of club visioning to your district clubs, while you continue to self-assess what's needed in your district to build to make that happen, if not now, by the 1st of July. So Tom, what's one of the ways that we have to help them promote club visioning within their districts?
Well, thank you, Jill. The President-elect sessions focus on Rotary programs, introducing the incoming district governor and their team to the President-elects and the President nominees. These sessions are designed to create awareness of the many aspects of Rotary through top-notch speakers and sessions. Rotarians learn of their impact in our communities and around the world. Another source of information and training is at the Rotary Learning Center that is located on the 3Ws, Rotary.org. This center covers a host of topics, including leadership and various other topics. It offers training for club officers as well. These are self-directed modules. District trainers are available to the clubs to provide training at various events on topics requested by clubs. Each year brings new challenges. How does a club meet them? Visioning is that missing tool for success. It is a process that brings club members together to gather their ideas and collectively determine what's important to their club, and this action leads to a club plan for the future. At the end of visioning, Rotarians become more engaged and more energized in making their clubs better. This results in focus and plans based on members' ideas. While the district has a trained team, they only show up when requested by the club leaders. To help promote the district visioning for success, we have produced this 3-minute video to be shared at pre-pets and pret events. Congratulations on being president-elect. This past year has been a challenge for our clubs and our members. Our world has changed, and in this coming year, it will bring on new changes. How do we meet those challenges? While Rotary core values will remain the same, we need to find new ways to deliver the Rotary experience. This is past District Governor Tom Ripperdoff from District 6510, and joining me today is Laura Carey. She is past District Governor from 6580. Visioning is designed for all club sizes, from the largest to the smallest. It has been designed to focus on the needs of each individual club and results in a living plan. Visioning is an opportunity for clubs to plan for a successful and more effective future. It gives clubs the tools to produce a vision for success. Rotary International has suggested that clubs develop a plan for the future. So how does visioning fit in, Laura?
Well, thank you, Tom. Instead of starting all over each year, visioning allows a club to increase their ability to adapt, expand their reach, increase their impact, and enhance their engagement. It allows clubs to have 3 necessary tools to be successful: consistency, continuity, and consensus. With these 3 tools, you have a strong communication.
Laura, can you provide us some details on putting on a visioning event?
So the event can be in person or virtual. It is important to get everyone's opinions and dreams for their club. The time commitments: in person, 1 session for 4 hours. Virtual is broken down into 2 sessions with a maximum time of 2 hours each. So Tom, what can we expect from visioning?
Clubs that have experienced visioning are energized, focused, and engaged. That makes the club very attractive to others. So Laura, what's the next step?
This is very easy. Get the approval of your club leadership and contact your district visioning chair today to find out more about how club visioning will help your upcoming year be the best year ever.
So Laura, what does the district need to be ready?
Let's look at, is your district ready? Here are some important questions to ask. Is your governor line in support of the club visioning through the year 21-22? Is your district chair and/or coordinator in place? Does this person have experience with the previous visioning model? How long has it been since your district has been active with club visioning? Do you actually have active facilitators? When was the last time your facilitators did a visioning event? Do you need to rebuild your team or just start from scratch? Assess what facilitators you still have and look at the roles they had. By doing this assessment, You will find out where you need to strengthen your team. One additional thing to look at: will you continue with in-person events, or will you choose to go virtual? Could you actually decide to do both, depending on what direction the district leadership would like to go and what technology is available in your district? So let's do a poll. Here is our poll. Our district will be offering club visioning in the following ways in 2021, and you can do a multiple choice. Will you be on site only, virtual only, both on-site and virtual, or we haven't decided yet? Please take a moment, fill in the blanks, fill in your choices, and we'll report out in just a moment.
I'll give you just a few more seconds. All right, if everyone has chosen, here you go.
Okay, very interesting. No one plans on site only. We have a few on virtual only. Both on-site and virtual is 60%, and 40% haven't decided yet. It's a very interesting mix. Thank you, everyone, for participating. So let's build our team. What is our starting point? When we start building your team, or even rebuilding your team, it's like putting together a puzzle. We will need to evaluate your current team. What are their strengths? And of course, what are their weaknesses? What's missing in the equation? Ask yourself, has it been too long since your district has done a visioning event? That what you really need is to start all over again. Now, Jill has sent out 2 documents beforehand to everyone who registered. If you have printed them out, please take a moment and get them now. If you did not get them or were unable to retrieve the documents, Jill has put both of the documents in the chat. Please take a moment and pull them up because you're going to need them for this next session. Does everyone have them? Okay, wonderful. The first one is a job description for each member of your facilitation team, which is each piece to this very important puzzle. What has also been included is a more detailed description of the technical host and scribe in the virtual event. From the job descriptions, you will be able to think through who would best fit these positions. The second document is the hypothetical case study we're going to have in the breakout room here in just a few minutes. So before we go into the case study, to let you know, we're going to have 4-person breakout rooms. We will have it for 15 minutes. There will be an IVFC observer in that room with their camera off, and they are not participating in this session, but they will be writing notes to see how you progress. What we are interested in is how the team is going to work through the process. It's called self-discovery, to see what's needed and see if you actually have the team members within this group. So we have included 10 fictitious names and skill sets of potential team members and asked to fill the following roles and district decisions which will build your team. Your visioning coordinator, your vision to success follow-up coordinator, visioning team technical coordinator. Here's your visioning facilitators. You have scribe, extractor, presenter, team lead, planner, and a technical host if the virtual delivery is considered. Once again, Jill does have these in the chat room. So what you may also discover is that you may be missing that right person for one or more of these skill sets. If that's the case, you may also want to think about where within your district that missing person can be found. So let's go through the case study. District 9999, that's 54 clubs, did club visioning training in 2011 with 15 trained facilitators. Over the years, the number dropped to 3. In 2019, 2 clubs did visioning, and no clubs were facilitated in 2020. A district chair was appointed in 2020 and was one of the original facilitators. The district governor-elect wants to revive club visioning. What does the chair need to do to build the team? We're going to go to a breakout now. Good luck. You have 15 minutes. Go through your handouts and walk through building your team.
So in just a second, I'm going to send you to breakout. You may see a message on your screen to join the breakout room. Note, you may have an observer in your breakout room. Some of our IVFC team members will be there. They will be muted and their camera off, and they're not there to participate or answer any questions. So any questions before we go to breakout as to what we need you to do? So you'll need to work together as a team. One of you can be the scribe to just jot down your answers. I'm not seeing any hands raised, so enjoy the breakout. We'll see you in 15 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. So Laura, off to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's do some reporting out and let's hear some of the things that came out of your group. Who would like to go first? Now remember, this is a visioning event, so we need short, concise answers. It's no different than being in an actual visioning event. Who would like to start?
I'll go. I'll be the guinea pig.
Okay, Bill.
Our group thought that the skill sets at a face-to-face visioning are certainly a little different than the virtual visioning. But we thought that Peter Piper might be good as a team lead, along with Mary Schneider. We thought that Salvador Lopez could be a good presenter, along with a few others. We needed a little bit more time to really get through the exercise. But we thought that the folks with some technical know-how would be good as technical hosts, and certainly that's a key role in the virtual stuff. We also thought would be good. Many of us have used folks in multiple roles for the face-to-face. We thought it would be good to train people similarly with some of these virtual things. And I think, while we didn't discuss it too much, in many cases, some of these folks have been away from it for a while, and we probably need some more training.
Okay, Bill. Anything else?
No, I think that's good.
All right, thank you very much. Please raise your hand and let me know who would like to go next. Share your thoughts. Leland? Unmute. Same problem as me.
Okay, now I think I'm unmuted.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think one of the things that we concluded was there can be a lot of interchangeable parts. And as was just mentioned, maybe some cross-training is a good idea, even though with virtual, maybe it's also important to really specialize in particular roles so we can see it working both ways. But we thought Shirley Surefoot would be, where'd she go? There she is, a good team lead. A presenter could be Julie Johnson, and past district governor and familiar with visioning. The extractor, among others, could be Steve Bennett. membership chair, although he might be a little conflicted there, but seemed very interested. Scribe, we had Peter Piper or Salvador Lopez, or maybe a combination. We thought Jonathan Jones could make a good scribe also, but in the expanded role of scribe, he wouldn't be comfortable doing the summary of the goals with enthusiasm. So we thought we might even split that job a little bit.
Okay, so Leland, you learned that there could be cross-training. That came out of your session, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What did you learn about the potential technical host? If it was
well, we really thought Joseph Bigg was the obvious choice there.
Well, I understand, but what did you learn about, what else did you say in that you learned about the technical host?
Well, that's a job that Jill has done so well as I've observed her, but it takes some real proficiency in the virtual world, Survey Monkey, probably doing 2 or 3 things simultaneously. So you've got to multitask as well as your computer does, or computers, plural. And that's a really important role, because as we've watched these deep dives, I think any downtime, it's kind of like kindergarten class. You know, you can't afford to have any downtime or you lose them in a hurry. And so you really need to have someone who's comfortable in that role.
Yes. Did they have to be a Rotarian?
I'm sorry, Laura?
Did they have to be a Rotarian to be your technical host?
Well, you tell me. I've assumed that we'd want everybody to be a Rotarian, but maybe we can find the right person and recruit them.
Okay. All right. Who else would like to, Pat, you have your hand up. So what did you learn that you can apply in your district? Go ahead.
Okay. Do you want me to go through my list, or you just want me to?
No, actually, what did you glean out of the exercise, and how could it apply possibly to your district?
Well, one of the things that I think is pretty obvious from the remarks we've had is that multiple people can fill these roles. So whenever we're assigning individuals to these various roles, it can be filled by more than one person. But also, I think we have to consider that individuals have strengths and skills, and you certainly would want to consider those when you are wanting someone to take over a certain role. As you said, talking about the technical host, there are certainly skills involved in that, and it's not everybody who can walk in and do that. But by the same token, scribing with Zoom is going to be a lot different than scribing in a live situation. So I think you're going to have to match the skills with the individuals there.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. Anyone else would like to talk?
I believe Kathy has her hand raised.
Thank you, Kathy. Go ahead, unmute.
Okay. This Kathy, I guess. I see there's other Kathy on here, but our group concurs with pretty much what everyone else has been saying, that cross-training, wear those cross-training shoes and get several of your team members cross-trained to handle different responsibilities, because the more they know about the other aspects of the team function, the better it's all going to get coordinated together. They're going to anticipate this person doing that will need this from me next, or I need to be ready for this when they're done. And so I think that sort of cross-training would be extremely valuable.
Okay. All right. Do we have time for one more, Jill?
So it looks like Sam has his hand up.
Okay, Sam, please go ahead. Unmute.
I think the thing that
that we found is that all of the jobs, cross-training, I think, is certainly readily available and very important across all those jobs. The two jobs that are most concerned are the scribe and the technical host. And we feel that we need to make sure that one, we've done surveys within our organizations, within our districts to find people that we think have those skills, and two, that we have multiple layers of both of those. Because I cite an example, we did a visioning in-person activity back in the 2 weeks ago, and on the morning of the event, one of my facilitators sent me a text and said, I've tested positive for COVID-19. I can't come. So we think it's very important that we have cross-training of all the positions, but that we certainly have depth in the scribe position and the technical host. I'll say one other thing about the, you asked the question that does the technical host have to come from your organization or from your, do they have to be a Rotarian? I think they do. You're asking that person for 4 hours of their time, many times, possibly a month. And I just don't, unless you pay someone that has those skills, I don't know how you're going to get by unless it's a Rotarian with a vested interest in making Rotary a success.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Anyone else?
I don't see any more hands, so I think we can go on.
Okay. Jill, don't we have a poll next? Yes, we do. To prepare our district to deliver club visioning, we will need blank from IVFC. Now, this is a multiple choice, so put in what you feel you are going to need from us. A self-study tutorial, additional group web-based training on particular roles on the team, a personal/virtual training from IVFC just for our district team. I am not sure what we need and would like to discuss with our visioning zone coordinators. Please take a moment, fill in what you feel you are going to need from us.
Just a few more seconds because I know there's a lot to think about on this. Okay, it looks like everyone has had a chance to answer.
Okay, so 54% of you, a self-study tutorial program online via web or video. 49% additional group web-based training, particular roles and teams. Also 49% a personal virtual team from IVFC just for your district team. And 17% aren't quite not sure. They need to talk to their zone coordinators. Very good. That tells us quite a bit of information, and thank you very much for participating. Next, we are going to go to Glenn.
Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
Laura has put us before a mirror for us of self-reflection. And you have experienced a breakout on how to ramp up your district club visioning team with the new materials. We now need to reflect on our areas of strength as well as where we need to grow. We have asked, what training do we need? Our supportive reply is you need as much as necessary to conduct a motivating and inspiring, vibrant and productive session where clubs come to see themselves not as they are, but as they could become. The poll just enabled us to stand before the looking glass and ask, magic mirror on the wall, will we be the most prepared of all? It is a personal inquiry that you and your visioning team can determine and share that with your IVFC zone coordinator. Like you, the zone coordinators volunteer their time and share their talents. Their commitment is to aid in your desire to optimize performance of clubs in your district through visioning. Build your team, if not already in place. Decide if virtual options is a good fit for your district. You may need to work with your incoming governor to request technology budgets, for instance. Now, as we do a IVFC website review, become familiar with the IVFC public website, where you will find the IVFC YouTube channels under useful links to share training videos with your entire team. We will be updating these videos as they become available. The district visioning chair will have additional access to download current materials, presentations, and templates. Coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. So opening up to questions from the audience that may have.
And I've also just placed the YouTube link for the promotional video for your pet sessions in the chat, but it's also available on the website on the YouTube links that we just demonstrated.
Other questions?
Glenn.
Like that. Good question.
Okay.
Glenn, one of the questions is, it sounds like David N. says, it sounds like both the February and March trainings would be ideal venues to recruit additional team members. Those interested in serving can attend and learn more about their roles. Is this open to all their facilitators?
Excellent question. And that is true, Kathy, and whoever states that question. Yes, you here this evening, and we do have other facilitators, but basically on the call tonight are many of the subscribed district chairs. You go out now, and we challenge you or encourage you to, if you hadn't already developed your team, go out and be developing the team as evidence from the little case study exercise. Call them together and actually walk them through, and I'd be glad to assist in any fashion in doing that. But walk your team through the self-study tutorials that they can find on the IVFC website. They will range anywhere from 5-10 minutes up to an hour and 5 or 10 minutes. The other sessions that we've already had, such as November the 5th, the informational update, the November 19th deeper dive of the new materials, or the December 3rd event, those are already on there as tutorials to view. Anyway, then come back and encourage those to register. You will receive an invitation from Jill and I to register for these 2 workshops. You can share them with your host of facilitators for them to sit in and participate. And please note, when they register to join, they will have the option to register specifically for what breakouts they want to attend. It may be they're not interested in any of the technical stuff, but they do want to register for either the presenter or the extractor, for instance. But so or you might even, as a district chair, push them in a particular direction of interest that you want them to register for. But they've got the option to do so. Other questions?
So if I may, for those of you who just answered the poll that you would like additional web-based training on a specific role, this is for you. This is exactly what that question was about. And notice that as we do these breakout roles, we will be training them on how to do on-site as well as virtual. Both of those will be addressed. For those of you who have already decided we're not sure that virtual is for us, it's just we don't have those resources, then you might not need anyone to attend the tech host. If you're weak in the tech area, we know that you may need more than that, and we'll work with each of your districts as warranted. But again, this is to answer that question, those additional web-based trainings by role.
Excellent point. Thanks, Jill. And like she has done, you can go to the IVFC website and even send your facilitators to go, because they're not, it's not where they can't get to it. It's to the useful links and the YouTube videos, and for them to go see these. It's 17, and there's a wonderful playlist of the various ones. There's useful links, the IVFC YouTube page to click on it. Then she's got the playlist, and there's actually 17 videos, 5 on promotion, roles of the team, and then you got technical resources. You've got the virtual visioning delivery session 1 that we did, and then the one we had done earlier in 2 parts. So these are some excellent training videos for them to go in the convenience of their home or office at their own time. A few of these are just 5 or 10 minutes long, and some are longer.
Glenn, we have another question in the chat. This is from Barbara. And Barbara is asking, is there a written script to help us as there was before?
You talking about from the manual script?
Yes.
There's the old one that's being updated as well, and that we will provide the resource guide for you to have, but we'll get more, and like the cheat sheet is in the development for you to be able to fall back on and utilize.
There is a full script for the PowerPoint. So the PowerPoint, the tutorials, the lesson plans, there are a lot of resources on there. So the training that you have just seen that's available is more interactive, and it is available with the more the bullet point and the reference documents versus the entire book. So I think you'll find there's a lot of information on there to help you with the script that you're considering. Glenn, I think Sam has a question.
Okay, Sam?
Actually, I have a comment, and you just went over it, Jill. The outline information that's provided with the PowerPoint is outstanding. I think y'all have done a remarkable job of upgrading and enhancing the value of those notes that go with the PowerPoint itself. We depended on that very heavily, and I don't think it was lacking in any way. So excellent job. And Jill, you just mentioned it too, so stole my thunder.
Sorry.
Great. Thanks for the testimonial there. We appreciate that. And I tell you, it's been enjoyable to see that the entire IFBC committee that's really been involved with this, putting it all together and making it work. Because it's a major challenge, to connect all the dots. But I tell you, I'm afraid this COVID, though, has opened doors of opportunity for us to try to fulfill. And I think we're doing that, even though I know it's hard pressed and it's taken a long time in a sense. Other questions?
Yeah, we have one more here. How many people have to be on a team?
Well, that's a good question. It can vary. It'll from district to district. As your exercise led you through this evening, for the sake of getting a good match, I wouldn't rely, as Jill mentioned, and others earlier, they had somebody that couldn't come participate at the last minute, so have some backup, and preparedness. Even the scripts here tonight have been shared from Jill to others for, if something had happened. So it is real critical. I know in person, it would be good to have, 8, 10, 12 to 20. You might even put them geographically throughout your district. I know here in 6760 of West and Middle Tennessee, we've got about 20, where we have around 8 over in West Tennessee, about 8 individuals on the team, in Middle Tennessee on the north part of Nashville, and about that many on the south part. So when they have done the face-to-face, when we were able to do them that way, they didn't have to travel as far. Of course, a team member can't do its own club. But
Sam, were you asking how many members on a whole team, or how many members when you actually do the visioning? Which is your question?
I think the question was how many are on the team that do the visioning session?
Okay, in our in the overview, you'll learn that if you have a virtual one, 3 is adequate. But if you have an on-site one, you probably should have about 4.
Thank you. So I think we're a little bit over our time. I don't know if there are any additional questions.
Excellent.
Well, if there are no additional questions, we want to thank you for being committed to helping clubs learn a process which they can help them be more dynamic and engaging. Remember, very important, the club doesn't know the process. So even if you mess a part of this up, they won't have an idea that this happened. Practice your part over before you go to a visioning event, and you will do just fine. And if you're doing a virtual visioning, an absolute must is a tech rehearsal, at least one. We wish each of you good luck in your facilitation journey, and thank you to your Governor Line for bringing club visioning to your district. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.